Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Burhan and the Boy. Mine, of course, is Michael Burhan, and this is, of course, the boy, Mr. Dave Wade, Lawn Boys Post 1975. Dave, say hello, everyone.
Hello everyone, we would have been on a lot earlier, but Burhan makes chicken sandwiches the size of half a bus.
And also, I'm dealing with depression. I'm not gonna lie, I've been sleeping all day, which is great for the body because it processes everything.
That's not entirely true, because I have those days, which is too much sleep actually is bad for you.
I know.
And here's irony: too much sleep actually has the same effect as not enough sleep. How does that work?
Well, you feel fatigued, you feel out of it, you feel like you want to go back to sleep, and also the fact that it also stores fat deposits in your body from the food because
but you're going traveling. Well, you shouldn't eat before you go to bed anyway, which is terrible because I do it all the time. But first of all, you're going traveling, so you could possibly actually want to store. You should be like a camel. You should store fat deposits because you'll need them.
You know, the weirdest thing is I've been eating like a fucking fat man, and I mean,
true. Me and your bird were worried about you yesterday because you hadn't eaten all day apart from one sandwich and some ice cream. And ice cream hardly constitutes nutritional food.
Well, I mean, like basically, for the last couple of weeks, I've been eating loads of like chocolates and fatty stuff, and I haven't put on a pound.
Sandwich every day.
I haven't put on a pound at all, which is very weird. Usually, I'd probably been fat as a house right now.
But you should, like, seriously, you should like camel it up.
Oh, pardon me, excuse me, guys. So yeah, I'm currently eating.
I just have to quickly ask: when you make chicken sandwiches, please tell me that you are a man and you put salad cream on them and not mayonnaise.
I put mayo and I've put like chili flakes.
Oh, you puff!
Salad cream is disgusting.
Salad cream is the fucking.
There's only one time I would have salad cream, and it used to be potato salad, but now I put mayo in my potato salad, and I have eggs.
What about? I gotta say, sorry. What about Cool Whip? You know, Cool Whip.
I do eat Cool Whip. I have it with.
No, you pronounced it wrong. Cool Whip.
I have it with strawberries and banana and stuff.
Can we buy Cool Whip in this country?
You can, yeah.
Holy shit! I didn't
Anchor.
know.
You know that Anchor like Cool Whip.
Oh, Cool Whip.
I think we call it something else though.
Yeah, we probably call it. Yeah. Oh shit! Now I know what it is. Oh. Do you remember ice? Do you remember ice?
Anchor dairy? Is it dairy cream or something like that? And it's just literally not the clotted cream. It's like this canned
clotted.
Cream.
I've never eaten clotted cream in my life.
I haven't. It sounds posh. I don't feel like a posh person.
Well, it's supposed to be like low-fat cheese for people who don't want to eat real cheese, and so therefore my brain just goes, real cheese is amazing. I'm never going to eat cottage cream because
I don't understand the people. If you're lactose intolerant, I get it, but
I understand that.
That defeats the whole object of clotted cream anyway, because you can't eat clotted cream because it's still cheese.
I don't want to eat anything that sounds like what it might do to my arteries.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I think it's for those people who feel entitled. And saying about entitled, guys, come on. We talked about E3 recently, and I've got an episode of I Got Gameplay where we've talked about the entire fucking thing. Myself, Brandon Ligon, we got a gentleman by the name of Los Lobos who's joined the crew. Jamie, Sean. We all talked about basically E3, and
I was there,
and you were there as well, Dave, of course. Talking about the fact
I was just sulking because I think
everybody was moaning and sulking about Nintendo's E3 presentation. You guys still don't get it, do you?
I was sulking about the fact that I think it's their death.
No, it's I actually saw what you meant. The fact that they seem to be phasing the Wii U out because they talked about a lot more 3DS titles, but when it came to the Wii U, they had like about 3 or 4 titles, and that was it. And it was
the rest of it, first of all, I think I should have said this.
They brought their A game because they had like fucking Star Fox. I'm excited for a fucking Star Fox game.
You just mentioned it. Now I got a semi.
Yeah.
I wasn't moaning about E3 per se. It was me moaning about the fact that it just felt like.
No, it is. It's literally Nintendo. I am with you on the fact that I think they'll be introducing the NX in 2016, and when E3 comes along, that's going to be the Wii U swan song.
But for all the people, when I was reading some of Xander's posts about it, which is and other people as well, and Johnny Melanie mentioned it, which is seriously, lots of people have sand in their vagina about E3.
Oh god, and the Metroid Prime Fusion game that everyone. It's like, look. Guys, what is the one thing that we use a lot, like in like Nintendo Land? There's this little mini game in Nintendo Land where you're playing Samus, and you're firing at these aliens and stuff.
Fucking amazing.
They thought, why don't we turn that mini game into a 4-player co-op game on the 3DS where you can play online with your friends and relatives? That's all it is. I have no issue with it. It has
I
a
have no
place.
issue with it.
I
I don't
think they
understand
put it on the wrong
people are pissing
console.
over
I think they should have put it on the Wii U. That should have been a Wii U
Yeah.
title, but they put it on the 3DS. That's their mistake. But there's 11k signatures on a Change.org petition asking for Nintendo to cancel the game.
Oh, Jesus Christ! What's wrong
Yeah.
with people?
Yeah,
Seriously?
this is when people have too much fucking free time on their hands.
You just picked me to it. I was just going to say, seriously, I don't know, get a second-type job or something, because that's...
Yeah, you know, if you use the time,
I'm
you
going
have...
to start a petition, because how dare anyone else enjoy this? They're wrong, I say! Like,
Yeah, if you spend the time being butthurt, actually, doing something constructive, you'll all probably be millionaires by now. Just saying, it's fanboy entitlement, and it's ridiculous. But we had some good stuff.
it's soundbiting is what it is.
Yeah.
People, you give someone a podium, and then they will just soundbite for the simple fact that it's easier to be negative than it is to be positive.
Yeah, it's like
And
when
that's-
people say to me, when I say that a movie's bad, I always watch a movie first before I say if it's good or bad. Me and Dax
Yeah, but
talk
you
about the fact.
explain why. You don't
Yeah.
actually say it's bad. You say
No,
hit
because
the
I look at it
negatives
through three
on.
angles. When I see a movie, I look at it through three different angles. The first angle is, like, I would look at it through a technical standpoint. Say, okay, the framing's nice, the camera, the presentation, the post-production looks great, you've got some CGI effects. Then I would look at it basically via the other, like, constructive points, like the acting, the writing, and the direction. If the acting and writing
you're
and direction
basically
is
being constructive, which
Yeah.
is you're allowed to dislike something if you're constructive about
play
it.
the
but-
fucking game first. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't like this. I don't want anyone else to have a go at it. And it's
Yeah.
like you said, which is you might play it, and you know what? Gosh, you might. I said, gosh,
Hey,
Christ, you
I'm-
might like it.
as long as the price point is not extremely expensive, and I can play it with my kids on the Wii U.
Well, we talked
I
about
have
this last night in a private
no problem.
conversation, didn't we? Which is the price. Nintendo, maybe because it's it's on the back burner now, but Nintendo has actually dropped their prices quite a lot. The games used to always be 40 quid, and now they seem to be 30.
Yeah, but I will say the price for the DLC for Ryu and all the extra packs and stuff for Smash Bros. Nintendo, seriously, nearly 30 quid if you get it for both the 3DS and the Wii U. That's ridiculous.
Well, so
Okay.
15 quid a piece.
It's £20 if you pay for it just for the Wii U, and that's all
Oh
the
my
DLC.
god! See, I really, really want it, but I fucking ain't paying 20
Well, you can
quid.
get Ryu and the levels. I think it's like a tenner.
That's still rip off a 10
yeah.
for a character.
No, but that's for him, his costumes, plus you get 2 extra levels and loads of different sounds, right? Then you've got the stuff for like Mewtwo or any other extra. No, it's Ryu, Roy, and the other little shit from
Who fucking wants
Earthbound.
Roy?
Yeah.
Who wants
And
Roy?
the other little shit from Earthbound. I think it's Lucia, whatever the fuck his name is. Lewis. With that stuff, it's like, okay, I get it. I get it, but the same.
They should be cutting us some slack here because they make so much money out of amiibos.
Well, you're making it more. The thing that bugs me about this, yeah, that's exactly it. If they package this with an amiibo, I could see the reason why you're putting that price point that high. But DLC 20 quid for a game I play.
Oh my god, they've turned into Namco.
The game I paid 40 quid for. So effectively, I paid. If you want to get the full DLC for it, you're going to be paying an extra £30.
Hey, you're paying half the price of the fucking game for
Yeah.
a character.
But again, I don't have too much of an issue with it because it doesn't take any. They haven't ripped anything out of the game and said, "Well, you would have got this anyway." But we're going to throw it in there, and you got to pay for it.
At least it wasn't on the disc in the first place.
Like Capcom. With this, it's kind of a situation where they've been like, "Okay, this is going to add to your gaming experience. So if you want it, great." And what I warn people who've got the character, who got the Ryu character at the end, he doesn't play like he does on Street Fighter. You have to get used to the controls.
I think it's safe to say though that people wouldn't expect that.
I wish they could allow you to mod the controls so that I could play him like he was in Street Fighter. It would make things a
Even
lot
though
easier.
it would be nice to do a Dragon Punch with one button, I still think there's something enjoyable about just pulling off Dragon Punch motion.
Well, do you know the fun thing about like the game itself is I love playing as my Mii. I got the Zero armor and stuff for the Mii, and he's great. He's got Zero sword. He's got the cool ponytail, even though the fact that my Mii is bald like me. He has all the red armor and stuff, and he is fast, and he kicks butt. I mean, literally, I played through it, and I've completed levels. I've destroyed bosses. I kicked Master Hand's anus using my Mii, so I'm happy with it.
It's a very strong descriptive term right there, Mr.
Yeah,
Burhan.
it's a great game. I enjoy it. Smash Brothers. The fact they've added extra DLC actually does prolong the life of the game. Great idea by Nintendo.
Oh no, you know what? I'm not completely against DLC. I just think they should put
There
it.
should be a reasonable price point. I do agree. Yeah. So if you guys want it, it's out now. All the DLC and stuff is out now. They also released the Famicom game that was never released over here in the UK called Mother the Beginning, Earthbound the Beginning, which was Mother 1, which was the prequel to Earthbound. So that's out.
I didn't even know that. I didn't know that was out. Oh. What's that? What's
Nintendo
that price
eShop. £6.99. £7.
See, I don't mind paying that for that because it was a game we'd never get to
It's
experience.
practically a brand new game, so you know.
But I do get annoyed when you look at them pricing NES games at like a $5, and you're like, really? Seriously? You know that, and you're not helping yourself, Nintendo, because you know we could emulate this. So lower your prices. Well, personally, I think they clean up. They release NES games at like £1.
It's good as well because of the fact that now, as like collectors, they won't be able to like deal with it at all because people who try to resell it are going to end up basically having loads of issues.
That's good in the sense that sometimes people don't want to literally have. This is why I contradict myself about physical copies because I think you should always have it. But sometimes people just want to be able to experience something that is like the holy grail of a game that just purely to play because they know it's a good game, but they can't because getting a physical copy is so expensive, and so like doing that is good because that kicks the the fucking resellers in the ass and going like, hey, 1/3 of your market's gone because people are just going to buy this because they never wanted to necessarily own a physical copy in the first place. It's stupidly overinflated prices. They just wanted to physically be able to play the game.
Now I just want them to basically resell to actually release more amiibos so we don't have resellers kicking us up the asshole.
I finally got I finally got my little Mac.
This reminds me, by the way, I did a bit of history. This is actually reminding me of Nintendo's chip shortage. Does anyone remember that?
Yeah.
This is what this reminds me of. Nintendo's chip shortage. And the reason being is because Nintendo basically went out there and, had these chips, these lockout chips in their console, which I never knew that. Atari, and this is thanks to the Gaming Historian. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, go to the Gaming Historian's YouTube channel. He is amazing, oodles of information for you. He's one of those that I call content creators that I really enjoy. Because
factually always correct. You can take his word as God.
But he did the whole Atari versus Nintendo situation where Atari branched off and opened up a game company over here called Tengen. And the company itself, what they did was they got into a partnership with Nintendo to develop 4 games. Then
what was it? It was Tetris, Gauntlet, fuck, what were the other two?
It was a baseball game.
RBI.
And Afterburner, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did a. I should know this. I've done a gameplay of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and Pac-Man. So Afterburner was actually one of the Tengen titles. Pac-Man was
Can I be a console whore right now and just say this?
Yeah.
Because I have played. I did a gameplay comparison of all the versions of Afterburner. Afterburner on the NES. Seriously, when people slag off the Master System,
it's terrible.
Look at the Master System. Right, I'm not saying the Master System version is perfect, but at least you got sprites the same size as the arcade. You play the NES version, it's like there's a cold draft in the room and everything's shrunk.
You know why? Sega didn't develop it.
Oh no, I know that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Also, was it Tengen? It wasn't. Who did the Space Harrier port on the NES?
It was Tengen.
There you go. That's 5 games then.
No, but I think they did it after. It was.
And what about and also Alien Syndrome which is a Sega game, is on the NES.
I don't know who did that one.
I do know that if you ever find a copy of Tengen Tetris for the NES in a charity shop or thrifting,
it's expensive. It's
buy it because it's fucking it's the holy grail of.
Because Nintendo stopped them from doing that because there's still
It's the better version, though. I've
I
played
believe
it.
Nintendo developed the game, and the Russian government actually sued them for the rights of it.
Wow. But it's the better version. It's far better than Nintendo's own version of Tetris.
Yeah. That's why you got the Tetris Holding Corporation. It's very weird.
Do you know what's funny about this? I think we talked about this before. I'm going to say it. The bloke who actually programmed the original Tetris, way back in the 80s, didn't make any money from it for 25 years because he was a communist, and that's not how wealth distribution worked.
Yeah, it's basically the way it all went is with Nintendo themselves. They had this lockout chip. The lockout chip basically locked the systems out. So if you tried to make a game for the system, you weren't allowed to, because the chip communicated with the system's chip, the chip on the main board, and the only way you could get around this was to basically reverse engineer the chip. Atari tried to, and then they found a legal loophole in their contract that they could actually sue Nintendo under litigation. And they then acquired the rights from the Copyright and Patents Office of the Nintendo's the N10 chip?
Yeah.
And managed to reverse engineer it, dump the code into their own chips, which these games played on the NES. And then they sued Nintendo after Nintendo wouldn't allow, because they were trying to find a manufacturer that would
I love you,
manufacture the
Nintendo, I
same chips.
really do, but your stranglehold on the market during the NES days, specifically in North America, was just...
Well, even though Tengen lost the lawsuit, Nintendo had to change the way they did business, because other companies, including Namco Bandai, basically sued Nintendo so they would get out of the contract with the company, and then they signed up with Sega so they could make multiple games on multiple consoles, because Nintendo were cutting into their profits, and literally,
you make it for us, you don't make it for anyone else.
Yeah, and this is what people don't get. Part of the reason why no third party doesn't support Nintendo anymore, it was because of their previous business practices. And Japanese people are like elephants; they never forget. So there you go, guys. And this is. I love stuff like this because I love biographies, I love documentaries.
So my holy grail of consoles I do eventually want to get, even though it would be completely impractical as a collector in England, which is I do really want an original Famicom.
Yeah, I love, I've got an original one.
Have you? Oh, you sexy bastard.
Yeah, a friend of mine gave it to me. I've got to get it modded, though, so it actually plays on normal TVs, which is what I'm going to do. But I've got an original Famicom.
Is this true? I get confused, but Japan has a different TV signal for consoles than it does for broadcasts.
Yeah,
they got PAL for broadcast, but NTSC for consoles. Is that right?
No, it's a different. You have to have an old style TV for these things, where you have to put it on a certain channel, so it produces a certain signal. But it's not PAL NTSC. I don't know what it's called. I think they do NTSC. They have NTSC just like the Americans, but it's a different kind of signal. But going on from that, I was talking about my love of documentaries, and the reason. By the way,
we've just turned into I got gameplay 0.5.
Not really, because I think this kind of segues us into what we're talking about. We both love documentaries. I love documentary books. If you ever read, one of my favourite books to read is a book by Mick Foley called Have a Nice Day, and it's Hard Knocks, and also if you check out his other one, Hard Knocks and Cheap Pops. I haven't read the one that he did for TNA, Road to Lockdown I think it was called, but he's very interesting. Bruce Campbell's If Chins Could Kill.
Oh, that's an amazing book. I absolutely adore that.
It's one of the reasons why I love Birdman so much, because it's biographical, right? You can tell the movie is about the actors involved in said movie.
Yeah, I've finally seen it, and I agree with you, and it's absolutely a fucking amazing movie, and it deserved all the plot it got.
Well, it should have got a hell of a lot more. It should have won an award, but I was looking at just, again,
it got a Globe, didn't it? It got a Golden Globe, didn't it?
Yeah, but it also won an Oscar for best, I believe it was best picture.
Well deserved, but it should have won.
Never got best actor, which
I was just going to say it should have won an Oscar for Keaton, because he's fucking phenomenal in that movie.
Yeah. And it's one of those things, I came out of it and I was just like, okay, it's very interesting, it's intriguing what was going on, and I found it very enlightening to watch this, to see what was, what was happening, how these characters interacted, and me being an actor and being I wouldn't call myself a thespian because this is people don't understand what a thespian is. A thespian is someone who's more a Shakespearean actor.
Yeah,
Someone
thespian is what I like to consider old school theatre.
Yeah, they're people who
Shakespeare-based.
live and die by the stage.
Yeah.
And a thespian is not what you wouldn't consider your favourite film actor a thespian because they've never probably done a Shakespeare.
I like Branagh. He's clearly a thespian, but he worked in other roles.
Yeah, no, but Branagh is a thespian. He lives and bleeds like the theatre. It's one of the reasons why, like, who was it? In Lord of the Rings, Ian McKellen said he cried when he had to do a scene with all these hobbits in green screen. He had to interact with them, but they weren't there, and he cried because he was like there was no emotion in the scene, there was no depth. The amount of characters and the engagement between him and the other actors weren't there. And as someone who is a darling of the stage, he just basically
No, you said it incorrectly. Darling.
He didn't understand why this was being the way that it was, and it's a direct understatement in terms of where the way we're going at the moment is technology is basically becoming more of a factor in what makes a
Technology
good movie.
is taking the heart out of movies.
Yeah, and also for those of you who love economics, I'm a huge fan of economics in terms of reading about it and understanding about it. Right, there's a book out there called Freakonomics and Super Freakonomics, and it talks about the fact how we live by trickle down economics, and everything can be broken down using economic terms, like crack dealing could be in a similar vein to McDonald's and fast food. How prostitution and like call girls can be shown how they develop business by using their assets.
Yeah,
it's
supply and demand.
It basically, yeah, that's pretty much it, and it breaks it down very simplistically, and it's very effective in terms of anybody who believes that they want to be in certain businesses, and it's great. It's not great as in oh my god this is amazing. It's great in terms of figuring things out and understanding them, because I'm very much that guy who likes to break things down to its simplest form and
understanding your market.
Not just that, but you break things down and understand in the simplistic terms what direction to go in. You can go left, you can go right, you can go, forward or backward. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of what it does. And biographies and biographical stuff is a great way to find out someone's understanding who they are. Fuck reality TV. Biographies always gives you a very in-depth look into who this person is and why they were in the mindset at the time. Like, one of my favourite shows growing up as a kid was Behind the Music. I
don't think I ever watched that. What was that?
It was basically bands talking about why they broke up and, talking about people's addictions.
Oh, that's right. South Park took a piss taking episode.
Yeah, Behind the Laughter, I think they called it. Yeah.
We're telling something, buddy, eh? Sorry.
Yeah, it's a fun little look. It gives you a condensed kind of biographical documentary look on it in terms of what these bands went through, why they went through what they went through, sort of thing. They used to have the Lifetime soap things as well, where they would have someone act as a certain character. I hated them because they were so forced, and you could tell they would add dramatic points in there to make it seem more worse than it was.
Just to make you get their point, which is as an average, no intelligent person you would get anyway, but they timed it by 10.
It was like watching a soap, basically. But yeah, that kind of segues us on to what Dave wanted to talk about, which was the Paul Gascoigne DVD that you got a hold of.
Yes.
You talk about it to the audience there, Dave. I'm just going to quickly run off for 2 seconds. I need to quickly answer a question, and I'll be right back. Dave, captivate our audience
I'm
on why...
scared. Hold me. I don't want to be alone.
Oh, don't worry. It'll be 5 minutes. Captivate our audience and explain...
5 minutes? Jesus Christ.
Captivate our audience and explain why you found this so profound, because I'm fascinated by this because I'm a child.
Did you watch my review of it?
I haven't as of yet because I slept in all day. So
watch my review of it. People out there, I'm not plugging myself, but I would say watch my review of it.
YouTube.com Lawboys Post 1975. So, but give us a condensed version of that, Dave. Elaborate on it if you can.
Right. Basically, I know football is not everyone's cup of tea. Personally, it's my cup of tea. I fucking love football. You know, Bristol Rovers and Liverpool are my teams. But what's amazing about this Paul Gascoigne documentary is it's him at the helm. You know, he's a broken, fallen icon. You know, he has massive, massive faults, and the press have torn him down and exaggerated his faults, which is what always happens. But why it's such a good documentary is it's warts and all. He sits there and he talks about it, and there are other people discussing it, you know, and it's not just about football, it's about his failed personal life and stuff like that, and the mistakes he made. And it's just, quite frankly, one of the most candid things I've watched in a long bloody time. I'm not going to lie. I teared up in a few places where he's being that blunt to the money about, you know, the issues and the problems he had, and, you know, being bigged up, having, you know, a wonderful World Cup and the press loving you, then all of a sudden the press turning around, which we know happens with everyone, but the press turning around and then fucking you in the ass, and it's just, I, it may be based on football, but I've very rarely seen a documentary of any type based on any specific subject matter that is engaging as this. So I would honestly say, if you even if you don't like football, watch Gascoigne. It's absolutely fantastic. It's got so many great moments. And then you also get to see the, you know, observational skills of other people and humanity in it, which is when he comes back and he walked off the plane after the 1990 World Cup, which was possibly the only time that we as England ever had any chance to win a World Cup, and that's, sorry, my football boner there. And Gary Lineker actually said to him just before he stepped off the walkway on the plane, which was, "Be very careful right now, be very careful," because he saw what was coming, and you know. You give that much fame, adulation, and money to a very young individual. It's a double-edged sword. So yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed this movie. I think if you don't, even if you don't like football, I think you can walk away from Gascoigne and get it. It's one of the greatest documentaries ever. And yes, that may sound like a bold statement, but I adore it. Plus, if I can go on a purely selfish football kick, I love the 90s. They were brilliant for English football. We were fantastic. We're not now. Possibly because we import too many foreign players. And that's not a racist statement. I'm just saying we don't have academies, which every other country in the world does. So, but yeah, that's by the way. Watch Gascoigne. And then we'll fill awkward airspace while Burhan comes back from taking a dump. Oh, I can hear light switches. The only other documentary I watched that much, by the way, is the Apollo 13 documentary by History Channel, because I like space.
I'm back.
I lost my thread and I started talking about Apollo 13. But, having said that, quickly say, if you ever get bored, and if you like space like me, and if you look at your back window now, particularly in my part of the country, in England, you can see Jupiter really bright. That's not a star, that's Jupiter. But I love space, and one of my favourite stories ever about sheer mankind overcoming, you know, basically a death situation and the sheer failings of something that they shouldn't survive ever is the Apollo 13 story. And I'm not talking about the movie, which is a good movie. I'm talking about actually read the book and watch the documentary that the astronauts actually made themselves.
Oh, by the way, Miguel, basically, I talked to him about his stats. He goes, I don't know why I find Billie Piper's overbite weirdly sexy, but for some reason I do. And I basically
because we want
out she's English.
If
it was an American girl, I'd guarantee you find it creepy. He then went, you raise a good point there.
You missed my joke, Burhan.
What's up?
He said, I don't know why I find it really attractive, and I did her song, which is because we want to. Because we want to. So.
Please don't ever grace our show with that crap again. Because just, yuck. Yeah.
People forget, right? I don't know how well, you know, what her career is in North America. You know,
she was a crappy singer, then she became a crappy actor,
and
then she took her clothes off. So you know, that was fun. Watching Billie Piper in lingerie.
Who was the bird she was based it on? True story, wasn't it? It was actually a true story.
Yeah, it was based on a doctor actually. She revealed herself recently.
What was it? It was called Diaries of a Call Girl, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, it was a doctor who she was a med student at the time.
I can't believe you left me on my own to go and get food because I can hear you eating.
No, I left you on your own so I could poop.
That was a fucking quick poop.
The food was already here. Yeah, my bowels are really cool.
Now it's just left your body, apparently.
Yeah, my bowels are very good like that. But yeah, they're very healthy, Dave. Now,
Documentaries, what was your stance?
with Secret Diary of a Call Girl, I watched a couple of these episodes. I've read the blog. The blog's actually more interesting and more seedy because it talks about her life as she became a female escort to pay her debts. And this is the thing. It brings that whole... Yeah, this is what I love about storytelling because it, from what we were talking about, it brings everything we spoke about into one context here. Because the whole Freakonomics situation, it was someone who was struggling in the economy. She wanted to pay her bills. And what does she use as an asset? Her body. She got someone she trusted, decided to kind of sell herself in every which way but loose. And forget the fucking moral implications here for a second, people. I know it's wrong. I'm not, condoning what she did. But in the end, she's done what she's done to, make something. Do you know what I mean? To create something for herself.
To solve her problems at the time.
Yeah. So she sold herself on the market for that, and she made a good load of money, and also talked about her experiences in a blog, which she made money off from monetizing. Then it got turned up. That said blog got turned into a TV series.
To softcore porn.
Yeah. Starring Billie Piper, which made a lot of money in terms of ratings and DVD sales, and she made money off of that as well. And then she revealed herself because she just wanted to let people know, this is who I am. I have no shame in who I am. That was a period of my life, and I'm moving on from it. And she has consistently, spoken up about it and said, this is kind of where this is what happened when our society and our system has let us down so much to the point that she had to go into that kind of direction in order to pay the bills.
By the way, people, I apologise if you can hear some scratching noises, but I'm doing a scratch card right now. I never do scratch cards. I just fancy picking one up tonight because might be a millionaire tomorrow.
Well, I'm gonna play the lottery on Friday as well myself, so I agree with you on that. So that's pretty much it on that. But it brings the whole bio-documentary thing.
Why don't you like football, Burhan?
I don't know.
Take the wages out of it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about...
It's not that. The problem with football is I tend to break it down into that. It turns into politics. And you know what I'm like with politics. The thing is, people don't understand.
It's the beautiful sport.
I've got a double-edged sword when it comes to politics.
Right? Really? I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, I don't believe... I'm not blindly faithful to anything. Like the whole Nintendo E3 presentation, I get Nintendo are being dicks. I get they're half-arsing it, right? But I'm not one of those people who sits there and goes, "Ah!" I think as gamers we win. We do win because we're getting a lot of new games. I'm getting a lot of enjoyment.
Basically, you're an adult and you give it a chance. If something pops up that you disagree with, you still sit back.
It's their own bubble, though, Dave. The thing is, they're profitable. Who are we to sit there and tell a company that is profitable you're doing it wrong? Do you know what I mean? If someone was saying to me you're doing it wrong and my company was making a shitload of money, I would look at them and laugh.
If someone said to me I was doing it wrong, I'd say, easy love, how do you want me to do it?
But that's the kind of the thing here, peeps. This is what you've got to understand. The only way we
I always do it right, by the way, ladies. I always do it right.
If you don't like a way a film's being produced, if you don't... I mean, Dave has said this time and time again. If you don't like a way a film's being produced, you don't like something that's being said, or you don't like the way things are being enacted, here's the one thing you need to do.
Holy shit, I just won £75. Fucking hell.
Good on you, Dave.
Oh my god. Hey. Do you want a bucket of chicken, Burhan? It's on me.
But hey.
I still got the second game to go. Hang on.
Well, you can use that for our kebab on Monday. But you just vote.
I'm working Monday. You're gonna have to do it next Thursday. Is that doable?
What, Thursday next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, you vote with your wallets.
By the way, people, Burns coming to my house.
I'm cycling there. Yeah.
Fuck me, dude. Cycling from London. I'm not gonna. You're gonna get hit by some stupid motorist along the way.
No, there's a cycle route. So, from London to Bristol, there's a cycle route.
Really? Yeah, it's called the road.
I'm also buying a tent, just in case.
Yeah, don't buy the one from Asda for 20 quid because they advertise it as the cheapest tent in the world. But would you want to survive in a tent that only costs 20 quid?
Well, there's one in Argos I can buy for 16, and it fits 2 people. So I want one basically for
You
me and
want
my
you want
bike.
a two. Well, I was going to say you want a 2 people one anyway because a 1 people tent is fucking tiny.
Yeah, I know. But the idea. Oh, for those people, I will tell you why the reason I'm buying a tent in a bit.
I just
after
want
the show's
another
over.
5 quid on the second. Fucking hell!
How much? How much did you win?
On there's the top of it is like a circle. That's really confusing.
So you've basically won.
80 quid.
No, you said you won 35 on one and 75 on the other.
No. I won a fiver on the bottom.
Oh, okay. So you won 80 quid, and there you go.
Oh, nice people.
Miracles do happen. So yeah.
And I don't gamble, people. By the way, this is the first scratch card I've bought in about 15 years.
And this is why I have a frowny face. But I know you, Dave. You're probably going to use it in very positive means.
I'm going to give it all to charity.
Aww.
Actually, do you want me to give it to you?
Is Charity the hooker that you like frequent with? But
Yeah, that's actually her name.
So I give to Charity all the time. I give it to her good.
I like to deposit in charity. Sorry.
I always deposit in Charity. I give to good causes. That was her sister's name.
Do you want it for your journey?
Up to you, dude. I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to say no.
I'll flip a coin.
Go for it.
We'll call it to fate. Unfortunately, that involves me going to the other room. Sorry, people who aren't English. That unfortunately involves me going to the other room and finding my trousers because that's where my wallet and my change is. But
yeah, so going on.
All people should call it trousers, not pants. I've just decided.
Going on from that, guys. This is the reason why we like what we like. Oh, another book that I've read that I thought was amazing, autobiographical.
What's your favourite book of all time?
Michael J. Fox, Lucky Man.
Oh, that's an amazing book. I've read that. I don't read much, but
it's so extremely positive, and the fact that this dude has gone through fucking everything. He deals with Parkinson's every single day of his life.
Do you know that he was actually treated for a bit at Frenchay in Bristol?
Never knew that. He had his brain. He's had a segment of his brain cut out.
Yeah. And he's had shit put in it as well.
Yeah, think about it, guys. He's had segments of his brain cut out. Right? And he's been trying to get, like, more research funded for it. But, you know, how fucking...
The most moving speech you'll ever see him do is when he's next to Muhammad Ali talking about Parkinson's. And it's such a long speech, he really struggles to get to the end. But he does it. And it's just... It's wonderful and it's uplifting because it's like, look at this guy. He's not here for himself right now. He's here to spread the cause and help people, you know, like himself. And he's struggling to do it, but he sits there and does it through the entirety, even though you can see him physically degrading through the speech because of the debilitating, you know, condition he has.
And that's the thing. It's not like it does anything in terms of destroying one's life in a sense, but it does make life very difficult.
Do you know this is, I'm not saying this is a joke, I'm just saying this is irony, which is, do you know the irony of when he found out he had he saw the first conditions that he didn't know was Parkinson's at the time. Do you know what movie he made when he found out that he had a tremor in his hand?
Wasn't it The Frighteners?
No, it was Doc Hollywood.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah, because he had this little tremor in his finger in a movie about being a doctor or a surgeon. And so after the movie, he went to the professionals and hospitals, and that's when they did all the tests, and they just like, you have the very early stages of Parkinson's that, quite frankly, we've never seen in someone so young.
Yeah. And that's the thing, it happens, you know, you can't, there's nothing that you can do to kind of combat it, but you can make life bearable or unbearable for yourself depending on how you want to live with it. And Muhammad Ali, bless him, has stayed out of like the spotlight, whereas Michael J. Fox has done everything he could to kind of highlight this, you know. And it's
true, and people always say like, oh, Muhammad Ali, he clearly got Parkinson's because he was a boxer. It's like there is no link between physical impact upon your head and Parkinson's. It
just happened.
Yeah, exactly.
It's apparently it's a genetic thing. So it's a big
It's like cancer. You're basically predisposed to it. It's in your genes.
Yeah,
You either will or you won't.
exactly. It's a shame, but again, he is one of the most inspirational. And the one thing that bothered me so much about it was when people started going on, oh, he's faking it because he wants to give more donations. You see the way he was twitching at that interview. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Really?
But in his book, he talks about it, doesn't he? He talks about when he's on Letterman, and he talks about when he's in his early stages of Parkinson's. He didn't admit it, which is, and you see it now if you've read the book, what he's doing, which is he'd always have his hand clamped on something,
Yeah.
like holding the desk or holding the chair, and it was basically to stop the tremors or stop the tremors being so prevalent. And it's like he wasn't fucking. The people who say that are fucking dead inside, because I can honestly say, right, yes, maybe he's a very wealthy person, maybe he's one of my favorite actors of all time, but I can honestly say Michael J. Fox has done so much for the cause of Parkinson's. And when people say, he's faking it, he's doing this, he's doing that, it's easy for you to say, sat on your couch in front of your TV with no medical problems whatsoever. Give the guy a break.
And have a fucking heart, you monsters.
Yeah. He has a genuine medical condition, and unlike some people, he's actually using it for the better. He's like, I understand that I'm famous, so therefore, more people will be drawn to me than, Joe Blogs on the street. So let's highlight this problem. We have to highlight this problem. So these people who say that are just fucking cold-hearted, callous wankers.
And I agree. It's if you're really
just for me, Burhan. By the way, this is our little tribute to you, Michael J. Fox. Gotta go Sorry.
And I will say, Mike, if you ever listen to this podcast, I don't know if you ever will. God bless you.
Hey, it's been to Bristol, so you don't know.
Well, if I ever bump into Michael J. Fox, I will give him a big, big hug.
I'm gonna piss him off, not because I want to piss him off. I'm just gonna have to stand in front of him and just go. By the way, people, if you don't know what that joke is, it's a Saturday Night Live joke that Michael J. Fox was involved in. So.
Well, it was like, when I went to play Blackpool and I managed to actually hold a hoverboard.
You sexy lucky bastard.
I was.
You showed me that picture deliberately on my timeline, and two things popped into my mind. First of all was, I hate you. Second of all was, I might have a semi now. Yeah. Not over you, over the hoverboard. With your cheeky little grin on your face.
If only I had a green screen. Be like, dude, it was amazing. I loved it. I think that's pretty much it for the show.
Did it have the hole in the front? Which, because if it's a true replica from the movie, it was originally like a trike board, not a true hoverboard. Yeah,
it did.
Oh, that's sexy biscuits right there.
The guy was using it for his cosplay. It was brilliant.
Was he like totally fucking 2015 Michael J or 1985 Michael J?
He was 2015.
Oh, nice. And by the way, people, I would like to take this moment to announce my Kickstarter, which is give Dave enough money to buy a DeLorean.
Well, you kind of destroyed my whole presentation.
Sorry.
That's fine. Basically, guys,
I do really want a DeLorean. I'm not actually eBaying them, just saying.
For those of you out there who don't know, I'm an actor, director, writer, and I have discussed this. Well, this has been talked about on I Got Gameplay. Well, it's going to be talked about on I Got Gameplay, and basically, it has to be talked about here, of course, on Burhan and the Boy, and that is come the end of July. My final episode of Burhan and the Boy for probably the next 3 months is going to be, I believe, Wednesday the 29th of July.
What do I do when you're gone? It's no Burhan and the Boy.
It will be actually. I'm auditioning my replacements at the moment.
You're auditioning? You really?
Yeah, it will still be called Burhan and the Boy, but it's going to be like Dave
and some other bloke who's not Burhan.
Pretty much, you'll have surrogate Burhans. But it's
we're gonna do what I got news for you, which is we could have a different person every week.
That's what I was actually thinking about, and it's going to be a bit of a trek, a bit of a chore in its own right, but I'm kind of happy with the.
You're gonna have to teach me how to host it. Do I have to pay for and download XSplit?
No, because Steve from Retro One is going to be covering the cost.
Sweet,
So,
because simply because I'm the most untechy bastard in the world. So.
and also the show itself is also going to be getting an iTunes page as well, because we're going to be on iTunes. And
Sexy.
yeah, and
Although we are going to do mini-sodes, it's the plan. If Burhan can never get to an internet cafe, we'll do like 3-minute mini-sodes.
yeah, the reason behind this, guys, I'm not leaving forever. It's just, for those who don't know, I'm going to be going on a trip, and the trip is I'm going to be. I'm homeless.
And he's not talking about drugs, people.
No. During July will be the last day that I actually will have a home. Believe it or not, thanks to our lovely economy and our lovely government who are currently in power.
We got to do something special for your final show on Burhan the Boy. By the way, we got to, well, I don't know, have bells and whistles and fireworks and.
Of course, and because of that, and because of the fact that I'll be made homeless, I sat there and just went, okay, because I have tried. For those who like, have you tried to deal with this and this? No, I've tried. Don't get me wrong, I've tried so hard and got so far, but it's never worked. And
I think you missed the obvious thing you could have done to fix your problem.
What's that?
You should have gone booking time. Sorry.
Yeah, that I tried that and that didn't help. But yeah, I've attempted to deal with it.
Did you run out of plutonium?
What's that?
Did you tried it and didn't work? Was that because you ran out of plutonium?
Yes. But yeah, I attempted to deal with the situation. The lovely people at the housing office just went, oh, it's okay. If you do get kicked out, all you've got to do is to find a place and we will give you a deposit of up to £350. I'm currently living somewhere where the rent is £350.
Good luck in London. In fact, I know you're not a fan of the Tories, but even a Tory MP came out last week and said that...
No, I was the one who posted that article.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, the minimum wage needs to be, raised because you cannot live on that in London.
Yeah, I think his bosses are not going to be very happy with him about that. But he's a realist, and I'm a realist too, and I agree with him. The fact that our economy is...
You agree with a Tory? Holy shit.
The thing is, I'm not a lefty, I'm not a righty, I'm a person who believes that as humanity, we should be given as everybody, I champion people. I think a friend of mine has said it best. She says, I champion people. And that's what I do. I don't believe in all this bullshit of this person's taken away from this person. I champion you. If you believe you can make £1 million, you can make £1 million. If you believe you could be, fuck it, the equalizer, I'll do a video about you being the equalizer, which I did for Dave.
Yeah, and it was awesome.
And if you believe that you can be the next big actor, director, writer, or even the next big stripper out there, you can do it. It takes work, it takes time, but you can do it. The fact that people just sit there and go, I'm content with my shitty life working in retail, but I'm upset because that guy over there earns more money and has a bigger house than I do. Fucking work for it! Do it. Do everything you can to make your dreams a reality. And I'm sorry, I can't believe I'm doing a Shia LaBeouf here. Do it! But that's literally what you've got to do. You've got to just do it.
You can still have your dreams. It sounds really stupid. I work in retail. It's a really, really crap job, but it pays the bills. But at the same time, me doing podcasts and me having a YouTube channel is me doing my creative self. You should never, you should never feel penned in simply because of what other people think, which is you work here, therefore have a specific opinion of you, and you're fenced into that position. Bollocks, are you?
That's pretty much it, guys. You can't sit there and go all pissy and moany about shit because you think you're entitled to something. There is no such thing as entitlement. There's only hard work and perseverance. And I know a lot of people just like, well, hard work and perseverance, why would you do that?
I think the big problem with it is the X Factor generation, which is people look at TV and they seem to think that one day you're going to walk into a situation and someone's going to throw you a bone, you're going to be a millionaire. Sorry, people, that's not how it works.
Even that generation's dying off very quickly.
Good.
And the fact is, no one is going to be a Kim Kardashian where they get paid to exist. It's not effective, If I was getting paid to basically sit on my arse all day, I would love that, but I'm not. And the fact is, when it comes
See,
to
I
this,
wouldn't like that because it would be nice to have, security, but then that immediately gives you uncovered the lack of will to be creative. If that makes sense.
yeah, but it's it's one of those
You
things.
can be anything you. I don't want to sound like an infomercial, but you can be anything you want. I'm not trying to sell you anything right now. You can be anything you want, people. But the bottom line is, you have to, and it's cliche, but believe and try.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you have no right to piss and moan and complain about anything because you sat in your ass and did fuck all.
yeah. Um, and that's kind of the thing here. If you look at anybody, look at a guy called Megaran. He basically used
He
the
looks
independent.
good on a topless bus in London, by the way. I have to say.
Thank you. He's basically made his money doing, the independent scene, and he knows there's people out there who get more money than him. Smooth McGroove, for instance, who probably could never do what he does on YouTube live, but he makes money. Megaran makes his money doing that, and he loves doing what he does. He had an album in the top 100 of the Billboard charts. Not many people can say that they've had that. He tours religiously, and he works his arse off to get everything that he can get. And you know what? The guy actually, even when he came over, he paid money for me to basically be fed, for my travel expenses, and also paid he was even going to pay for me to get a freaking flight from here to Ireland so he could shoot some more commercial stuff with me. And I remember afterwards he was like, "Hey, I need to pay you," and I was like, "No." He just went, "What?" I was like, "No, no, 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 not gonna have it. Not. I don't want."
Oh! Sorry, there's a topic you forgot to mention tonight. We'll
What's
have to
that?
extend the show slightly. You're going to talk about Eccleston.
Well, we'll talk about that in a second, but I just want to, because I want to lead into that from this.
Oh, sorry,
But
because you
yeah,
just said you were going to round up, so I thought you were going to end it.
but I'm basically right. Going back to the topic, I'm going to be homeless. So I decided, let's turn a negative into a positive. And Dave loved this idea when I was telling him about it, which is I'm going to go into Europe and I'm going to be shooting a documentary of being homeless in Europe. That's all it is. Me, a tent, my bike, my laptop, and my camera, and I'm trying to raise funds.
By
at the
a
moment.
bloody good lock, though, I will say that.
Well, I'm going to basically try and raise the funds so I can have my laptop, my camera, and my bike insured, so that if there's any issues happens, or if someone steals anything of mine, or anything breaks, or fucking rain gets on everything, I'm okay. So if you want to help, you can do just by hiring me. Hire me to do an intro for your channel. Hire me to clean your sinks or do anything like that. I don't mind whatever you want me to do. Just hire me, and I'll be more than happy to help you out.
You come around and kick the shit out of my neighbour for waking me up when I try and sleep.
Yeah, I can't do that because it's illegal. And if
Oh,
that's not
I had to ask.
But yeah, my situation is kind of similar to a gentleman by the name of Christopher Eccleston, which we're talking about, who basically was the first incarnation of the Doctor when they rebooted the series. Even though they connected
The
it
ninth
to,
Doctor, I believe.
he was the ninth Doctor, but they connected him to the initial series now. But before they kind of rebooted it. He did it with a northern accent. They didn't want him to do it with a northern accent. They wanted him to do it RP.
Well, isn't that his? I mean, I know he's an actor, so he can do any accent, but isn't that technically his actual accent?
Yeah, because he was like, I want him. The Doctor shouldn't be distinguishable. The Doctor should be an everyman, which I agree. He's right. The Doctor should be an everyman. Because every regeneration, he's kind of the.
Agree, but then that's kind of a contradiction in terms. Not you saying that, but Doctor Who, in the sense that every Doctor has such a distinct personality that they're not really an everyman, even though they are. If that makes sense.
No, but
It's
an
not-
everyman means
it's an
generally they're
oxymoron.
everyone. There's no distinguishable Doctor. There's the Doctor isn't the character on himself. He's like you and like me. Which is
Well, the last time I checked, you and me don't have two hearts.
yeah, but it's one of those things. I really liked that whole factor into it. I felt that as a character worked really well, and he was great for the initial start of the series. He was getting angry constantly because he felt, one, he was going to be typecast, and two, the way that they did things behind the scenes politically, because it felt like
BBC, to those who don't know this, who are possibly from other countries listening, the BBC is such a political organisation. It's not funny.
yeah. And this is what Dave was going on about, the fact that BBC's earning billions and probably puts like a
Yeah.
small amount of that, of that money into producing shows. They used to have like BBC Three was the BBC's outlet of producing independent
My favourite
TV
channel,
shows.
my favourite BBC channel was BBC Three.
Yeah.
We got In the Flesh, we got Bluestone 42, we got so many good shows on that.
2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps.
No, that was ITV.
No, 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps wasn't. It was BBC Three.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
Google it now.
2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps was BBC Three, dude.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Google it now, because that show's really old. I'm sure that beats BBC. I demand you Google it now.
BBC Three, 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps. BBC.co.uk, comedy, sitcoms.
Alright, hang on. Really? Really? Oh my god. I didn't know. I'm a fool. I'm a buffoon. If I was French, I would say quel buffoon. S'il vous plaît. Are you Googling?
I googled it, and it's basically BBC Three.
Wow, I didn't know that. I thought, oh my god, I've been living a lie all these years. I'm so upset with myself. I'm going to have a cold shower after this.
Yeah.
We lost our thread.
But yeah, so Eccleston himself was on the verge of being homeless after he, refused to deal with the BBC's politics and the issues that was going on with the company themselves, because they were taking a very young Billie Piper, they were overworking her, overworking Eccleston, overworking the crew, and treating people like shit, because a lot of people who run the BBC are very
And this was
entitled.
groundbreaking at the time in the sense that they shouldn't have been overworking them, because it was when they brought Doctor Who back.
Yeah.
This may not sound like a lot of money now, but 2005. This is a lot of money, particularly for British TV. What was the average bill for an episode of Doctor Who? Wasn't it like £1.5 million or something?
Yeah. And they actually earn something over 100 million per episode.
Well, they
from
also,
licensing.
yeah. This is what annoys me about the BBC license fee. We can go a little bit political right now. Is forget the fact that Jeremy Clarkson's now been fired, but the BBC makes the 2 most successful TV shows in the world.
Yeah.
If you want to buy an episode of Top Gear or you want to buy an episode of Doctor
they used to
Who,
make
any
the 3
country.
most successful TV shows if you count Red Dwarf.
Oh yes, oh yeah, but then my channel took that up. But my TV channel, not my actual channel. When I say my
His
TV
name's
channel,
sake.
yeah. But no, this is what annoys me about them charging a license fee is. If you want to buy an episode of Top Gear or Red Dwarf, not Red Dwarf, probably Red Dwarf as well, or Doctor Who, any country has to pay £1 million per episode. So, 2 most successful shows in the world, how many countries screen them? Why are we paying a license
But
fee?
they're earning, from Doctor Who especially, they've earned like 100 mil off of that. Just the fact that this fucking show screens in every single country.
And then you can even go backwards and say how much are they paying for the old shows before it was rebooted.
Yeah.
Yet we still have to pay a license fee.
And Disney,
I remember
Disney
when I lived in.
licenses it as well, don't they now? Disney
Yes.
and Sci-Fi both license the show, so you've
I
got
re-
it on 2 channels over in the States.
The thing I always keep in my head that I just find funny, because it annoys me, not the person saying this, just because of the state we're in the UK when it comes to having to have a TV license, is I had to once explain to a Canadian what a TV license was, and they came back with the best question ever.
Why are they taxing
Why-
the TV?
No, they said, why do you have a TV license? It's not a gun. It's not like you can kill someone with it. I mean, fair point. Fair point. No, we just have to. That's stupid. You have to pay for TV? It's not cable? Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
we
this is
do.
the thing. Now that we've got Sky and cable over here in the UK, it makes it irrelevant that you should be paying for a TV license.
Well, I don't think we should have a TV license for the simple fact of fair play. In the sense, what I mean is the BBC. Don't get me wrong, I love BBC programs, but they're bulletproof. They never have to worry about going bankrupt or anything like that because it's a legal requirement to have a TV license. ITV almost went bankrupt, didn't they, 7 years ago? But they, pulled their plums out the fire. So
Wait, who went bankrupt?
ITV almost went bankrupt.
Oh yeah, is
So
that when that was after they did that partnership with Channel 4, wasn't it?
yeah, and
Channel
it was
4 pulled out.
basically why should the BBC be exempt from the marketplace in the sense that you know you're just doing what everyone else does in terrestrial telly. So why are you got this golden handshake and other people have to float as a proper company, on the exchange and can basically do what any business does, which is you don't make good content, you go bankrupt. But no, you're the BBC. You therefore get all this money, and I just don't think it's fair. I don't think it's a fair playing field. I think if anything, we got rid of the license fee. It would make them try a little bit harder.
Yeah, and how did the thing is not just that as well. The government did start giving a bit of the license fee out to everybody. Because I remember like ITV, Channel 4, all those channels did start to get some of the license fee. But the problem is, and I've always said this, you have people running an industry that have no fucking clue how to run it. Like
And are
the old,
so far removed from your everyday person.
yeah, the old controller of the BBC. Remember, he got rid of Doctor Who, even though it was a high-rated show, because he
He
just
didn't like it.
Yeah,
Yeah. 1989. Sylvester McCoy. He cancelled it, and it was still getting like 12 million views a week. But he just said, I'm not a fan of Doctor Who. I don't like him.
yeah. And this is where the problem is. It shouldn't be based on taste. It should be based on whether or not it's gaining ratings. The same thing has happened with like companies like ABC, for instance, where they keep throwing shows in different time slots and then just mess it up. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. The death of a show. It's,
Yeah.
it's what killed Firefly. It's what killed Quantum Leap. That's the one thing that even before it was cancelled, the BBC still got right, which is if you're going to do Doctor Who, you do on a Saturday night at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Yeah. And that's kind of where the
Do it,
problem was.
Burhan, do it.
What's that?
Dun, 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 dun. Ba, 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 ba. Spinning TARDIS. Ba, ba.
But it is what it is, peeps, and it's you can see where kind of Eccleston was afraid because the BBC had so much of an outreach.
Well, I didn't know this, but I have to say, fair, until you told me yesterday, but I say fair play, Eccleston, for taking, a line in the sand and standing up for not just yourself, but everyone.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of those things. It works in general for what he did. He was making sure that he was looking after people and looking after their rights. But at the same level, he nearly killed his own career at the same time because he didn't think he was ever going to get work again.
Yeah, you said he didn't work for what was it? 1 year, 2 years?
Yeah, and he migrated over to the United States to kind of get a fresh start. It's
I
kind
still
of what I
say
wanna
this
do.
though, he was crap in GI Joe. But
Well, he made a lot of money for it. Did he return for the second one?
I don't know. I've not seen it. I was so disappointed with the first one.
Yeah. So
GI Joe should have been a 15 rated movie, and we could have had something fucking cool.
yeah, but
Snake Eyes.
again,
Snake Eyes
that's
was
people
good,
in
yeah.
suits, isn't it?
Yeah. They know better than us, Burhan. They know better because they sit behind a desk all day and they don't watch TV. They know better.
Yeah.
Wankers.
It's a shame. So that's
On
pretty
the
much.
subject of Suits, by the way,
Go on.
that's one of my favourite shows that Dave has embraced, and Sky is trying to steal from them now because Dave took the chance to pay for it. Suits.
I love that show.
That
The new
fucking
season's
that
not even
sh-
out yet, is it?
Yeah, that show's fucking amazing, and Dave have fought hammer and tong
But
and
that
spent
is
loads of
actually
money.
based on real life. They found out there was a real life power league over here. Who's
Do you know what the irony about it is, though? It's
she's
shot in
going to go to
Canada.
jail. Yeah, she's going to go to jail because she didn't pass the bar, and she basically
Lied,
fought,
wigged it.
yeah, she fought over cases that she won. So the cases that she basically won money for, they could be overturned because she wasn't a proper trial lawyer.
So people who actually committed serious offences could be let off now because she had no legal credentials.
Pretty much it, yeah.
That's scary.
Very much so. So it's kind of one of those things where you can sit there and go, oh fuck.
Oh, Harvey, I love you because you have the best hair in TV.
By the way, is it me or does Lego Dimensions look so fucking sexy?
It does.
It has a DeLorean in it. It has
Well, you know I have a Lego DeLorean.
No, but it has a Lego DeLoreans that you can put it on a portal, and you can actually go back in time using the DeLorean.
I think you mean Booking Doom.
I'm kind of okay. It's giving me a chub. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm actually, you know what, people? I know the Lego games are all exactly the same, and my favourite one is still the original Indiana Jones one. But I might have to buy Lego Jurassic World just because it's dinosaurs in Lego form.
You know, but so for everybody out there, just so you knew, if
say like Back in Time, just so you know.
Just so you know as well, one of the other things that came out of E3 is Nintendo's partnering with Skylanders.
Yeah, this is really interesting.
To produce amiibos that exclusively work on the Nintendo Wii U and 3DS, and they also work on the Skylanders portal.
I'm not going to lie, I was very surprised at this.
Yeah, the bottom of the figure, you click it, and then the figure basically works on the portal. I sat there and I was just thinking, imagine a hacker, if Activision have left the code on the disc for the PlayStation and the Xbox, a hacker could hack these figures so that they could work on those consoles.
This was when he told me in a text the other day about this. I was very, very surprised at this. By the way, I was like, "Wow, really? You're crossing the streams here, people."
That reminds me, I need to get your number again because I'm going to be my contract.
I was just about to say it out loud, but then I thought, "Oh, we shouldn't say it on the web, should I?"
No. But yeah, that's it's going to be something great. I think the future of kids gaming is turning into these toy things.
The future's not bright. The future's orange.
Well, it's kind of one of the reasons why Nintendo are doing what they're doing with the Wii U. Amiibos are the future. The Lego toys are the future. Skylanders are the future. And I've been saying this for the last 2 years.
I think it's safe to say,
my naysayers,
we get the next Nintendo console, Amiibos will still be flying strong.
Damn straight.
And then that will make old Amiibos collectible because it's like baseball cards in comics. Because then they'll be defunct and therefore that adds value to them.
Amiibos are going to be part of the NX. I guarantee you. I guarantee it. They'll be part of the NX. So there we go, guys. We're going to end the show there. I want to say a great big thank you to everybody. On my final shows that I'm going to have on the network, I will be doing a shout out to everybody I've worked with, including Mr. Dave Way, of course.
You don't need to.
It's going to be bittersweet, but it's going to be, even though my journey ends in one direction, it's going to start a new journey.
Yeah, but it's just a journey. You'll be back.
I will be back. In the words of Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back. So
Go on, do a proper Annie right now, just for me.
I'll be back. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, did you see what he did at Madame Two Swords?
No.
He basically
Is he in England right now?
Yeah, he played a prank on people where he dressed up as the Terminator from Genesis.
Oh, please tell me he stood really, really still.
He did. They put all the fucking plastic makeup and stuff on him to make him look like a waxworks. So everyone's standing over all the wax dolls. They went up to him, and he got his arms and pressed them on people's shoulders, and they fucking shat themselves.
Oh my god, that's brilliant.
Yeah, and he was cracking up when he was doing it to everyone. I just sat there, I was like, Arnie, you on a new level of super cool, dude.
Arnie, never change, never die. In fact, Arnie, I'm telling you now, it's a personal favour for me, never get any older and never die, because we love you and we don't want to be in a world that you don't exist in.
Yeah, so there you go, guys. Thank you very much. You can find Dave also on his YouTube channel, Law Points Post 1975, as he iterated. Check out his video on his documentary for Gaza. If you want to follow me, you can do. Now I've got an official site. If you go to www.
I do, but it just redirects me to your Facebook page.
To my actor's Facebook page. www.michaelburhan.com. Go to there, check out. It gives you links to my videos. It gives you photos. It gives you everything. A new site's going to be up, but for now, it just redirects to my Facebook page.
And wish him the best of luck for his travels, people.
And also, if you want to donate to my GoFundMe, it's gofundme.com/homeless in the EU. So thanks very much.
Before we go, I think we have to do it one more time, but
okay.
Gotta go back and do.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Gotta go back and do.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon. So it's goodbye from him and goodbye from him.